place. RMC allowed himself a moment of satisfaction, praising Evan for a job well done. With the mission complete, he could finally breathe. Evan, slightly out of breath, asked if this meant all the orphanage duties were now finished. RMC confirmed it. Evan let out a deep sigh of relief, but the mercenary couldn't help noticing that his master didn't seem particularly thrilled. I am happy, RMC insisted. Evan raised an eyebrow, clearly unconvinced. When pressed further, RMC insisted he was smiling. A closer look revealed the truth. There was no smile at all, not even a smirk. Evan, familiar with this expressionless facade, simply shrugged and moved on. RMC reflected quietly on how smoothly everything had gone. Considering that the bosses of psychedelia had become the 5 great sins due to their traumatic pasts, the chances of saving them before their descent had seemed slim. He had worried that by the time he intervened, they would already be too broken to rescue. Evan, how's the orphanage? He asked. Evan handed him a letter. Everything's running smoothly. The kids who once looked like broken dolls are starting to brighten up. If that were true, RMC replied, we wouldn't need a separate caretaker. Still, he hadn't expected Yudia to manage the place so effectively. Then again, it made sense. In the game, her background had tied her sentimentally to the orphanage. Read the letter, Evan urged. RMC obliged. Yudia's words were concise. The children were thriving, and there was no cause for concern, especially regarding Dees, who had been a particularly complicated case. Her reassurances brought a rare warmth to RMC's expression. A small, almost imperceptible smile. Quietly, he wondered whether the orphanage environment itself had played a role in the children's progress. Evan leaned in with the inevitable question. When will you meet them? RMC deflected, claiming the time would come eventually. Inwardly, however, he admitted he had no intention of doing so anytime soon. While he might like to be close to them, he wasn't eager to deal with their personalities, especially after witnessing their cruelty in the game. Still, he reassured himself that at least he had rescued them before they endured the events that would have shaped them into the sins. A slight apprehension lingered. I'll probably meet them in 5 years, he told Evan. More pressing, however, was the need to protect himself in this dark, merciless world. The solution, as he saw it, lay in magic. As he practiced, RMC felt fortunate that the body he now inhabited possessed at least some magical aptitude. Evan soon mentioned an organization called Blue Moon. RMC admitted he had never heard of them. Evan explained that the group had recently begun targeting criminal organizations, a development RMC initially found promising. Still, he wondered why such an organization had never appeared in the game. He assumed it probably wouldn't last very long. Evan grinned and added another detail. Blue Moon specialized in taking down nobles. The thought sent a shiver down RMC's spine. In a rare lighthearted moment, he told Evan to start sleeping outside his room, just in case. Meanwhile, at the orphanage, Yudia convened a Blue Moon weekly report. Sol, the Sin of Pride, began the briefing. She recounted how she had eliminated a group of slave traders, performing acrobatic feats while explaining how they had failed to even recognize her identity. She had even given them a chance. Guess the color of my eyes, she had told them. And you may live. None succeeded. Rena, the Sin of Greed, calmly reported on her work disposing of the corpses without leaving a single trace. Raiden, the Sin of Misophobia, confirmed that the illegal testing grounds in the south had been completely destroyed, turning the Avalon perpetrators into nothing more than minced flesh. Yudia praised their efficiency, emphasizing that everything had unfolded according to their master's will. They existed solely for the Blue Moon, the Great Moon, their leader. Suddenly, Dees interrupted with troubling news. Yudia frowned in confusion.